Welcome back to Stardew Valley. So I have noticed that my voice recording overlay has been just ever so slightly off in terms of timing, and it's because when I'm doing it through two different apps where I'm watching in my editing app and doing the voice recording in just the regular Windows voice recorder. So I gotta click on one to kind of start the video, and then I click on the other, so I'm, split second off. I don't think I'm gonna fix that, so y'all can just deal with it, because it's the easiest way for me to do this that I know of. But anyway, we're back with some spring year one action. This is episode, this is the episode after number 12, we'll say, because I have a phobia of that number, and I don't even like to say it. It's weird, y'all. Like, I take it to the next level. I won't sit in that row. I won't leave to go somewhere in my car if the clock in my car shows that number or adds up to that number, and some other things of that nature. I might have said it earlier in the series, but full disclosure, I really don't like that number. It is just evil. So anyway, our trees are still coming along here. On the agenda for today is the Flower Dance Festival. So we won't do much before we go to that. Now, I believe I still need to catch a sunfish for one of the, well, there's several fish that I still need to catch, but one of them, I believe, is the sunfish, and I don't have one in my chest, so I can't remember if I dropped it off, and I swear there's a little thing that, pops up, and you can hover over it, and it'll tell you if you need that item for the bundle. Like, it will kind of like pulsate when you hover over it, but I don't know I can't remember if you have to do something to unlock that feature or what the deal is. But anyway, we're gonna try and start knocking out some stuff in the community center. So we're gonna probably make a trip up there, maybe not today, but definitely tomorrow. And today we're gonna try and catch that sunfish so that we've got it to take there. Another thing we might do is run up to the mines and just grab our sword. It's not critical, but tomorrow we will be picking up our axe. So that means we're gonna drop off our pickaxe for its upgrade. And then we will head to the hidden forest where there's some wood that you can collect, but there are also critters down there that cause problems. Okay, you can see there's the flower dance. It has begun. There's a dandelion, so I think that'll give us enough of our foraged spring items that we can make another wild spring or wild seed bundle to sell. And what else do we need to do here? I think that's it in terms of the agenda. So we'll try and catch us a sunfish real quick, and then we'll head on into the forest directly to our west and hit the flower dance. The flower dance won't take too long, and then we'll be home. So this is going to be a really short day because, by 11 o'clock, we're going to be heading to the forest, and then a couple minutes later, it's going to magically be 10 p.m., and I won't have anything else to do today. So then tomorrow on the agenda is what I like to refer to as Community Center Explosion 1.0. So we'll be making a trip or two to the community center and putting a whole bunch of stuff in there. I could put wood, stone, hardwood in there for the construction bundle, and that will complete that one, and I think we get a charcoal kiln for that. I believe I still need to put the lake fish, like the largemouth bass, the carp, the bullhead. I know I need to put the crab pot stuff in there, which is What we have for it is a crab, a mussel, an oyster, and a clam. If you can't tell, I did some homework on this part, you know, before recording. So anyway, there's a ghost fish that I can turn in there. Oh, you see there's a rare crow that you can buy here. So there are, like, I think 8 different specialty scarecrows that you can collect, and one of them is right there. And now we're going to go around and talk to everybody. Now, some people, you know, you have the option to talk to them twice, and I think if that's the case, that means they are an eligible dance partner. So the second time you talk to them, it's basically them saying, "Oh, do you want to dance?" Or, "Were you going to ask me to dance?" Yeah, like that one. And you have to say, "Never mind," and then just hoof it over the next person. Alright, so where were we? Okay, the community center explosion. There's a whole bunch of other stuff on the list, so I'm not going to really deal with it in terms of explaining it. But I think there are a few things that I still need to collect towards that goal. One being, hopefully I can get a cockle at some point, and then... Okay, so here's Haley. We'll just ask her to dance, and then it'll stop asking me if I want to dance with anybody else. And she's all like, "I'm like 5-time running champion of the Flower Dance Festival. Hope we keep that streak going." And Alex is like, "I'm just enjoying the scenery." He's standing there watching Haley, just totally creeping her out, I'm sure. I think if you don't marry Haley, Alex and Haley are the two that eventually, like, get hooked up. Anyway, where were we? The community center explosion. Oh, a couple of things that I need to still gather, and this is important. I need the catfish, a shad, and a bream. And the catfish and shad, it has to be raining. So we're running out of days in the spring, at least, to try and catch those, and that could create a problem. Actually, while we're sitting here and it's just going to start the silly festival here, let me look up those couple of fish to see if they're available in other... what are we looking for here? I want fish. Where's the fish bundle, y'all? Hang on. Multitasking. Here we go. Fishing. Spring. Why are you not showing me any fish? What's the deal here? Whatever. Not important. We'll figure it out later. But we need a catfish, a shad, and a bream. A bream shouldn't be too much of a problem. You just have to catch it at night. The catfish and the shad, I'm pretty sure it's got to be raining. And I think they're available in other seasons. At least I sure hope so, because we're running out of days in spring. And if we're going to do... if we're going to complete the goal of finishing the community center in the first year, we can't have any mistakes like that, where we miss something and then are relying on getting it from the traveling cart. Speaking of which, one thing that you have to get from the traveling cart in the first year, because you can't get it any other way except to grow it, is red cabbage. And you can't get seeds for red cabbage because Pierre doesn't start selling them until the second year. There are a few other crops that are like that. I think garlic, maybe artichokes. I can't remember what else. But he doesn't start selling them until the second year. So you gotta buy it from the traveling cart if you're going to complete the community center in the first year. So anyway, you see we grabbed our sunfish. That's kind of just a reminder to go to the community center tomorrow. Alright, so we hit the drum beat, and that means it is bedtime. So that was a quick day. We're only 10 minutes into the episode, or 9 minutes in, and we're through day 1. So we might do 3 days in this episode, depending on how long day 2 takes us. So let's just get right after it. Oh, did you see the little UFO flying in the sky there? Sometimes there are little silly animations that happen as you're going to bed. Anyway, okay, our steel axe is ready, so we will go get that today. And of course, it's going to be sunny tomorrow. Man, I really hope we get a rainy day or two. Ooh, and it's also a very bad luck day. The spirits are displeased. So, and I know I've talked about this, fruit trees, they take an entire season to grow, so plan ahead. So again, like if you're planning on trying to get fruit for the community center bundles, you've got to plant your fruit trees a month in advance of when you plan to harvest them. So it's a expensive investment that doesn't return. You don't get any ROI on it for over a month. And we got another batch of strawberries due or ready, so this will be another pretty good day. I think last time we got close to 8,000 bucks out of this, and this time we might have some more silver and gold qualities. So that might net us, closer to 9 or 10,000. We already have almost 6,000, but we'll spend 5 G's on our pickaxe upgrade. So for the next few days after this, we won't be able to really do anything in the mines. I feel like somebody gave us a quest to go kill stuff in the mines. I could be making that up. But if I am making it up, it's because today somebody asks us to go to the mines and kill stuff, as you might see later. Anyway, after we pick up our axe, we will head to the hidden forest. We didn't go get our sword yesterday, but it's not a big deal. There are some monsters, usually it's just like slimes in the hidden forest, and we can just avoid them. And even if we don't, they're not going to do much damage, so it's not a big deal. But for the most part, after we do this, the next time we go to the mines, we might start keeping our sword on our person at all times, so that when we go to the hidden forest, we can quickly dispatch those slimes. So no fruit today in the bat cave. So we kind of talked about our plans today. We're going to start the community center explosion. Every time I look at my notes on our plans today, I see CC explosion, and I work in sales, and I see CC, I visualize CC, and I think credit card. So that's why you keep hearing me stumble over that phrase. Anywho, yeah, we're grabbing our stuff for our trip to the community center. In fact, I might just start calling it the CC, so that we don't have that little mental hiccup every time. And some of these I can't remember if we need them or not, so I'm just kind of grabbing things that look like they might be for the community center. But so that's on the agenda for today. And there is a chance we might complete another day in this episode. So I will go ahead and give you the plans for day 3, which is Friday. And it's the 26th of spring, which is Pierre's birthday. So we will try and give him a gift. Now, we won't have anything that he loves, but he is totally okay getting flowers. Normal flowers that you can pick up around town, so we'll just give him a daffodil, and I think he'll like that. And since it's Friday, we will also need to go to the traveling cart, and if we're going to go to the traveling cart, we will also go to the hidden forest again while we are over that way, and we'll chop some wood and do that sort of thing. Alright, so we already have the sunfish in there, of course, but there you see the catfish and shad that we will need. In the specialty fish bundle, we got the ghost fish that one of those ghosts in the mines dropped for us the other day. Nothing in that bundle. Alright, so of course we already dropped off the bass and the bullfish, but we can at least drop off the carp. And then there we need the bream. Don't have yet. Okay, crab pot bundle. We can almost complete. I didn't save. I think we got a cockle like on the first day, but I sold it. So we're going to have to find one more item for this bundle, and then it will be complete. Now I'm running over here trying to go to the bulletin board because I have some stuff for it, but I haven't unlocked it yet. So you have to complete another bundle to unlock that one, as well as the vault up there. So the bulletin board is actually, in my opinion, the hardest one to complete because there's just a bunch of random stuff that, a lot of it you can't complete because you just don't have the, stuff for it yet and won't get it for a while. But we'll keep chipping away at this stuff. Alright, so here I just need the 99 stone to complete that bundle. And like I said, I think that'll give us the charcoal kiln, plus it'll unlock either the bulletin board or the vault. I think it's the bulletin board that opens up next, so that'll help. Now here, I thought the wild plum was one of the ones that you can use for that bundle, but it's not, because it doesn't come... The items that you can leave there are the fruit tree items. So they might add banana to this when they do the 1.5 update. And I always get the wild plum and the pomegranate confused because they look pretty similar at first glance. So anyway, we kept, or we will keep, our frozen geode that we've got on our person right now because it's actually used... Okay, here's the quest. So the wizard wants us to kill 3 dust spirits, and he's going to give us 360 bucks for it. So we're going to accept that quest, and even though we don't have our pickaxe, or we won't after we drop it off at Clint's, I am still going to go to the mines at some point if I can and kill those little buggers, because they're not that hard to kill. They're the little black things that bounce around and drop coal sometimes. They're not that hard to kill. You can find them pretty easily, and even though I won't be going in there and getting any ore or stone, 360 bucks is worth the trip out of the way for something to do, you know what I mean? Alright, so we got our axe. We're going to bust open these geodes, except for the frozen geode, because it is one of the things that is needed for the community center. I think it's one of the bulletin board bundles, so we'll hang on to that. We're actually going to drop back in here and sell this one little item that he will buy from us. What is it? Celestine. And now, forgot to do this as well. Boom. Oh, it's 10 grand for the next upgrade to go to the gold level. But we're going to drop off the pickaxe, and now we're pretty much out of money again. Speaking of money, I did some more homework on summer crops in terms of how much cash I want to have saved up beforehand. We'll come back to that. So you saw there I've got 5 hearts for Haley. So we're getting close to 6, which I think will unlock another cutscene, but she's not in her home. She would have just left and headed up towards the fountain. So we're going to try and track her down, give her this gold quality daffodil, and see if that gets us to 6 hearts. Because I believe 6 hearts unlocks another cutscene. Don't eat the daffodil, give it to her. There you go. Oh, she's really craving cupcakes. So you can see Haley is kind of not being so mean to us anymore. So the tide is turning on that front. And now on the way back, since we don't have full inventory, we can pick up this leek. And I believe that'll give us another set. Actually, it gave us 2 leeks, so that's cool. And they're silver quality, which I actually probably don't want to use for a wild seed thing. But I only have 1 daffodil, and I want to keep at least 1. So we've got a bunch of daffodils, so that's good. But daffodils. We need more dandelions in order to craft some more of those bundles. But here I am putting some stuff back and grabbing some other stuff that we can now take up to the community center bundle. And What am I grabbing here? What are we doing, guys? I gotta get focused, y'all. I'm just all over the place. I didn't even drop off the strawberries at Pierre's, which I should have done. And obviously I'm in a state of confusion here. I decided to go back and grab some stuff for the community center, and I missed the aquamarine. Now that I'm looking at it, I could have dropped those off in the bulletin board room after I unlock it, which I'm gonna do by completing both the construction bundle by dropping off that stone, as well as one of the bundles in the boiler room by dropping off the bat wings and the solar essence that you saw me grab there. But anyway, not a big deal. These are all things that we will get to eventually. So why don't we go ahead and, oh, I don't think I told you cash that I want to save up for summer. So summer is just a few days away. And on day one, we want to buy all the crops that we want to get started for the season, which is going to be a bunch, and frankly, it's going to take up a ton of my time just to water them. When we start planting crops in the, Caroline just threw away one of my parsnips, and then is like, you know, she threw it in her compost bin and it started to smell. Well, it's like, it's a rotten parsnip. Like, what did you think it was going to smell like? And it's in a compost pile. And why are you just throwing it away if it was still good, hypothetically? But anyway, she's knocking my crops because apparently it wasn't a really good quality when I sold it to Pierre's. And eventually, you start selling Pierre all high quality stuff, and then you start getting compliments on your crops. But anyway, when we plant crops for the summer, we are going to plant in parcels of 8 instead of 9. We'll leave the center one open, and that will be our spot for our sprinklers as we start getting those ready to go. So we're going to be doing plots of 8 instead of 9. And anyway, the reason I was saying all this is I figured out roughly how much cash I want to save for the summer. We're talking a minimum of 18,000 bucks, hopefully. And on the high side, I'd like to have in the neighborhood of 20,000. And that'll give us a bunch of money for blueberries are the key crop. I want to have 144 plots or individual blueberries planted. And that's a bunch, and it's expensive, but they continue growing after you plant them, and they will, you know, oftentimes yield more than one blueberry, I believe. They're really profitable. They're the most profitable summer crop in general. So we'll try and plant a bunch of them. We're also going to plant a few of each of most of the other crops, just so we kind of have one or two of those. And then we're going to plant at least 8 corn, because corn grows all the way through fall. So it's not a bad idea. It can be fairly profitable if you plant it in summer and then just let it go the whole time. But the other reason why we want to plant a few more corn than some of the other crops is that you need 5 gold corn for the quality bundle. Now you see we've unlocked every room in the community center, which is cool. We also got the charcoal kiln and another small magnet ring, which we don't really need. But we're making some progress. So CC Explosion 1.0 is officially complete. We'll do another round of, we might do another round of CC Explosion activity, but we might just do more of like just dropping off 1 or 2 items whenever we get them, instead of doing what I just did, which is taking forever to get organized and make that trip and do a whole bunch of it at once. So anyway, what else is on the agenda for today? Oh, we got to go to the hidden forest. And that's pretty much all that's left for today, y'all. We'll head down there. We will, while we're at it, actually, first, let's take out this log, and that will free up some more space in our tree farm. So we're going to go up and actually get a couple of seeds. Now, I know the one seed that we want to put down there is the pine cone, but I wasn't sure on the other ones. And I grabbed 2 of each, and it's because if you put one down and it's not the one you wanted, it's sometimes, I feel like for whatever reason, when you go to pick it back up, it just destroys it instead. And I was trying to figure out which one I need to plant here. Couldn't remember, so we decided to just go with the acorn. That'll get us oak resin eventually, which I like. Before, I think you need it for kegs, and if we're gonna do a keg empire, y'all, and it's gonna be glorious. Another thing that I noticed as I run down here is that one of our trees is actually done growing, so we can put a tapper in that thing. And I don't remember if that one's a maple or a oak, but I can actually look it up while we're sitting here. It's hard to tell because they look somewhat similar, so bear with me, y'all. We're heading to the hidden forest here. We're going to stop and talk to Leah real quick. So what am I looking up? Oak tree. Is it on the wiki? There it is. I think it's an oak tree that we have there in that row. So now aesthetically, I'm going to lose my mind because we'll have a row of oak, a row of pine, and then a row of maple with 1 oak in it. I might even go back and undo that situation and put another maple there just for the aesthetics to all match, because that's the kind of person that I am. Anyway, here we are in the hidden forest, and each of these stumps translates to 2 hardwood. Now I take like 5 swings at this point, but once we upgrade our axe a little bit more, that'll be less. And there's a statue up there in the top left that at some point we will give him a sweet gem berry, and he gives you, I think it's called a star drop fruit. And when you eat that, you eat it automatically, and it makes you think of your favorite thing, and then you become more, I think you get an energy refill when that happens. And here I am trying to sneak through here, and apparently there was a slime in there that was attacking me. But anywho, I also got a couple of mushrooms down there that I can put in the community center, so that's good. But there you saw the hidden forest. And those stumps respawn every single day. So if you chop them, the next day they're back. Which is not the same with any other stumps or trees in the game. So, when you need hardwood, you pretty much just need to head on down to the old hidden forest and chop them up. So now we're just burning through the rest of our energy. We're running out of stuff to talk about, and you know what that means. It is time for the fun fact of the day. And today's fun fact is the inventor of the microwave, which you would think would be loaded for making such an invention. That is not the case, because he was paid a grand total of a $2 bonus for coming up with the idea for the microwave. And it was a bonus because he worked as a researcher for the company then known as the American Appliance Company, which is now known as Raytheon. And apparently, like, it was just his job to come up with cool ideas and whatever. The dude's name was Percy Spencer, by the way, and if there was ever a guy that I could see inventing a microwave, it would be a guy named something like Percy Spencer. But anyway, he's there at work, and he noticed that when they were doing something, they were trying to use a radar and set it using electromagnetic waves, and he happened to have a candy bar in his pocket, because apparently he would get hangry. So he had a Snickers in his pocket, and when they tried to use this electromagnetic wave situation to position a radar, it melted the candy bar in his pocket. And he was like, huh, that's pretty cool. I wonder if we can create this small metal box and then stick a hot pocket in there and crank that thing with a whole bunch of electromagnetic waves if it'll heat up my hot pocket. And that's how he invented the microwave. And so his employer was like, "Thanks, bud. Here is a $2 bonus." And then that was all he ever received for that. He never got royalties or nothing. So the man who invented the microwave got $2 for it. So that's pretty cool. You also saw me craft a tapper there. It was 40 wood and 2 copper. And we're going to need to make about 30 of those bad boys. Maybe less. I forgot to count my number of trees down there, but I think it's going to be rows of 10. So we'll have to make a whole bunch more of those. Now I grabbed a daffodil there. At this point, we're about 31 minutes into the episode, so we're going to go ahead and do another day, because that'll put us up around 45 or 50 minutes for the episode. And we've got to level 6 farming, and that unlocks our quality sprinkler. And I'm going crazy with the mouse right there because I'm excited about that development, because those are going to make our life a whole lot easier on the farmstead. Now, they take an iron bar, a gold bar, and a refined quartz. I have not made it to the point in the mines where we can even make gold bars yet, because I can't get to the gold ore. I'd have to buy it from Clint's. So we've got work to do, for sure. Mom saw the piece in the Stardew Valley Tribune about how well my farm is going, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you," but she's still not going to come to visit. So, whatever, Mom. Just stay out of my life if that's how you're going to be. Anyway, you saw on the news, it's going to be sunny again tomorrow, so I'm pretty sure there's got to be one more day of rain in the spring. So, I really don't... While I'm sitting here doing this, let me pop open a browser and look up shad on Stardew Valley wiki. If you don't know this, there is a wiki for Stardew Valley that is extremely helpful for looking up info. Okay, so the shad is available spring, summer, and fall. All you got to do is call, and I'll be there. You got a friend. It's karaoke with longtime listener. The catfish is only available in spring and fall. And you can only catch it in the morning on rainy days in the spring and fall. So, man, if I can't catch it now, we'll have to wait all the way till fall to be able to complete that bundle, which I really don't want to do. The more bundles you can knock out earlier, you get some cool rewards and you unlock some other things or whatnot. So I really want to complete as many as I can early on, so you get those rewards and they make it easier to get more money and such. A big one to complete would be the boiler room. You know, if I can complete the boiler room, it unlocks the mine carts, and that is a sweet deal. It's not that hard. I still need 1 gold bar and fire quartz, which I'll be able to do as soon as I get to the magma levels in the mines. So we got to get there, y'all. Get that done. That is a huge, huge box to check, so to speak. Now, today is Friday, so still on the agenda, we've got to get to Pierre's. I still need to slay these monsters, but there's another task here, which is to bring green algae to Elliot. And like a moron, I just closed it instead of accepting the task. So we'll eventually come back and do that, because that's one that we can do pretty easily. We don't have a ton of other stuff that's critical on the agenda, so we'll knock that out today. And there I gave Elliot a gift, or Pierre a gift, and now we've got 2 hearts with him. So, happy birthday, Pierre. Now I was trying to basically figure out what I want to do next in my day. Because we got to hit the traveling cart. We need to possibly do some foraging and wood chopping. I guess maybe I was looking something up here. I don't really remember what it was, but I already did the fun fact of the day, so we're just gonna have to kind of wait this out, y'all. And I do not like dead air, in case you haven't noticed. So anyway, oh, you know what I was doing? I was looking up Elliot's schedule, because we want to give him the green algae. And I was running around like an idiot because I was still kind of looking it up. So that's why, you know, you might think that I might have been drunk while I was doing this, because it's like, dude, what are you doing? Anyway, so now we're heading down to the traveling cart. I ran past that horseradish because I wasn't looking. I don't think I even go back and get it. So we missed out there. Not a big deal though. Anyway, we're going to the traveling cart. I might have mentioned this already, but I'll mention it again. The red cabbage is something that you can only get from the traveling cart in year 1. So there were a couple of things there, the crocus and the pufferfish, that you need for the community center, but I can get those through other means. So we bought our rare seed, and then we'll take off and get going about our day here. Since we're down here, we're gonna head to the old hidden forest, chop some stumps for some hardwood. Hardwood is something you need it, I think, for casks. So there are kegs that you need to brew things like beer, to ferment wine. There are some other things that you can make in kegs. But then, oh, get away from me, you rascal. But then you can put them in casks in your basement eventually in your house once you get that final expansion. You get a basement, you can throw a ton of kegs in there, or casks if you arrange it right. And then, where was I going with this? Oh, you can put your beer and wine and such into those casks to age it. And every, like, 2 weeks, I think, it goes up 1 quality level. So if you brew, for example, strawberry wine, which we will do at some point because we'll have a bunch of strawberries next summer, we'll brew some strawberry wine, we'll pop it into... I said brew strawberry wine. We will craft strawberry wine by putting it into kegs, and then we will put it in the casks and let it sit there for a while, and after a couple weeks it goes up to silver quality, and then a couple weeks later gold quality, and a couple weeks after that iridium quality, and then it's worth a ton. Now it takes a bunch of time, but you know, all it's doing is just sitting there, so it's not like you have to put effort into it. Now at this point I think I realized, oh yeah, Caroline, I threw some strawberries of yours in there the other day and they started to smell. Well, quit throwing perfectly good food into a compost bin. And by the way, when you throw it in there, it's not gonna get like more freshest. Anyway, it's just going to go bad, and it's going to smell. Like, what do you expect from this, Caroline? So George is still not warming up to me, but he at least gave me the backhanded compliment of, well, at least farming's an honest work, you know, it's honest a job's work. So, Anyway, eventually George will be our friend. I think you get a quest from him at one point to get him a pepper. And that makes him a little bit more your friend, I believe. But the other thing is going to be, when it's his birthday, we're going to give him a gift, and then George is not going to be a grumpy old veteran, toward us at least, anymore. So there's Elliot. We give him the green algae, and boom. It's only 45 bucks, but you get an achievement eventually if you complete enough of those, tasks on the community bulletin board. And look at this foraging haul at the beach, everybody. So we got our cockle. That's cool because we can donate it at the community center. I also got the sea urchin there that, while I still need to donate one, this will leave me with an extra to keep around the farmstead if I decide to keep it. It's a gold quality too, and we got 2 of them. So that is a really good haul from the beach for one day. So that was awesome. Now we're heading up to community center, drop some stuff off, and then I think the only stuff left on the to-do list today is to try and get up to the mines and kill those dust spirits for that task that the wizard wants us to complete. He's going to give us 360 bucks to do that, y'all, and that's awesome. Okay, we completed that crab pot bundle, and your prize is crab pots. You get 3 of them. You got to put it in the water, and for now you have to put bait in it. Eventually, I think you can get a perk where you don't have to put bait in those. But I think that perk was down the path that you had to choose earlier on at level 5 fishing that would reduce the cost or the amount of resources it takes to craft a crab pot, and we didn't pick that one. We picked to have fish more valuable. So anyway, you put the crab pot in the water, you throw some bait in there, you come back the next day and there's stuff in the crab pots. I like to put those crab pots up by the mines and then put bait in my chest at the mines, so that anytime I go up that way, I just grab a couple bait, throw it into the crab pots, and collect what was in there. You can put the crab pots anywhere that there's water, including on your farm, but you don't get very valuable stuff if you do it there. You can put it in the ocean, you can put them in the town river, you can put them in the mountain lake, you can put them in the forest river, forest pond. I think you can even put them in the hidden forest water. And I don't know what you get if you put them up there, honestly. But bottom line is, put them somewhere, put some bait in them, and collect the bait. I don't remember if I went to the cave yet today, but there's nothing in there anyway, so either we did and got it already, or we didn't and there's nothing in there anyway. So now we're just heading up toward the caves. We're going to drop off the crab pots and then head down to get our 3 dust spirits killed. Come on. Okay, we got a prehistoric tool, which looks like a bent spoon. And apparently Gunther is willing to put that on the exhibit at the museum. Alright, so we put them in there, and then you can just hold down right click while you're holding bait and run past them with your mouse over them, and it will drop off the bait. And you do the same thing essentially to also pick up anything that's in them at the time. Alright, so we're grabbing some ore. We're going to craft some copper bars before we head down. And that way when we come back up, the copper bars will probably be done. We can put some iron in there to smelt those. Anyway, you get the idea. We got to kill 3 dust spirits, and he will give us 360 bucks. Now, some of these I feel like you do it and you get your money immediately. I think with this one, you might have to go talk to him to tell him, hey man, I killed those dust spirits. And he's like, cool, here's your cash. And, you know, the devil inside me is like, well, why didn't I just... See, the downside with this stupid dagger is that it just goes straight out. You don't sweep it, so you got to be right in front of whatever you're trying to kill, and as bad as I am at fighting, this is not going to work, y'all. And that's bad, because that means I'm probably going to have to buy a weapon. Oh, jeez. And that's... The one that I will buy is probably, you know, at least $1,000. That's not good. I would have rather just kept my old weapon, as bad as it was, and I could have just sold this stupid crystal dagger. Not a big deal. We'll survive on cash. I think with... Okay, so when did we harvest those strawberries? Yesterday? I'm hoping, and I believe, you get one more batch of strawberries on the very last day of spring. We'll also get our potatoes on the last day of spring. And if that's the case, that should be a pretty good chunk of change. But we still need to be pretty careful with our money, honestly. We have our silver axe. Did we drop off? Yeah, we dropped off the pickaxe to have it upgraded. So we don't really need to spend any more money in this season. You see, I'm leaving the bait there so that I don't have to come back and get it. So, or I don't have to keep it with me. Eventually, we'll get the big backpack, and then I'll pretty much just keep all the stuff with me that I ever use. We'll have the sword, the watering can, axe, pickaxe, hoe, maybe even the scythe, although you can use the sword as a scythe for a lot of different things, except for harvesting crops that require it, which is like the rice shoots, I think hay, maybe kale, I can't remember what else. And then we'll probably also keep our bait with us. We'll keep hay for our animals, unless we decide to keep it in a chest in the barn or coop, respectively. Eventually, you get the upgrades to those buildings far enough to where you have an auto feeder. So you get your silo, you put all your hay in. Your hay, when you cut grass, goes into the silo, and then if there's hay, if there's enough in there or any in there, the auto feeder will disperse it to the animals until it's empty, and then you got to put it in yourself, but you get the idea. All right, there's our 360 bucks. The wizard's all like, man, people are afraid of me. It's like, well, dude, you wear a cape and you have a purple mustache, and you can teleport, so kind of a reason to be a little bit timid around you, to be honest. So, all right, we're pushing. It's 8 o'clock. We are going to go ahead and swing it down here to the spring onions area. We haven't been down here in a while. We'll just grab those. We'll probably sell anything we get down here. And that should do it for the day. That was a pretty good couple of days there. We got a lot done. You know, we had Community Center Explosion 1.0. Unlocked all the rooms in the community center, so that's good. We danced with Haley at the flower dance. We got a new axe and started upgrading our pickaxe. We got access to the hidden forest. We made friends with Pierre. We got another spring or a rare seed from the traveling cart. So lots going on, y'all. And again, we're making progress. We're chipping away. That, you know, it just takes a while to kind of get going in this game. But once you do, it's kind of like a snowball effect. You know, your tools get better. You get more efficient with them as well. You get more money. You can spend your money on stuff that makes you even more efficient. And then you start unlocking stuff and tools. And then the money just starts rolling in. And you know, if you get enough of a stream of income, it's just like you can just buy whatever you need. It's not even a big deal. So, I don't really remember what's on the agenda for next episode. It's Saturday, it's Sunday. So Sunday we'll have the traveling cart, and that'll be the last day of spring. So we are almost through one season of gameplay, so that's exciting. Doesn't seem like it's been that long, but yeah. You can get caught up playing this game and just spend hours. And it's like, oh, I played 4 days and I've been here for an hour and a half. But it's only 4 days, and it's like, oh, well, you know, I didn't even make it through a week. So, alright, now we're just kind of cleaning up, getting organized for tomorrow, but this is pretty much going to do it for this episode. So I will go ahead and tell you, if you haven't already, be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you get reminders about more videos. And what else? Comment below. Please, please. A lot of people that are watching this are trying to learn or teach. So be sure to criticize me where needed. You can compliment as needed as well. I just saw the little thing. It's when you open... Anyway, we'll talk about it next time. Anyway, that's it for this episode. We will see you all next time. So thanks for watching.